Yeah, no, that works.
Okay, we're going. Awesome. Here we are. I don't even know the date today. Goodness gracious. Monday, December 20th. We are 5 days out from Christmas. So yay, exciting. I am going to start our little slideshow. And I love that you guys are having all these conversations. And throughout this little presentation, pull up the chat. Let's have some fun, talk to each other. I don't like to be the only person that's talking. But at the beginning of this month, we had a small little, for the diamond leaders on our team, we had a little mastermind conversation and we were talking about team calls for the month. And I offered to do a call on an end of year reflection because I am currently a part of this Melanie Mitro and Katie Ersta's Make Chic Happen community. And they did a really good presentation on end of the year reflection. And they are huge. You guys can go listen to their podcast, the Make Chic Happen podcast. I am constantly listening to PD, and it's a really good one if you guys need help with social media and figuring out what to post. I know I get a lot of new coaches that are like, help, I don't know where to start. Literally everything that we've learned from our team calls, so showing up on these calls, national wake up calls, YouTube, Google, and podcasts. Like that is how over the past 3 years, I have grown my social from taking pictures of myself waving at the camera to what it is now. And it's not perfect. But that's really what it is. It's a lot of trial and error and learning. So that is a really good podcast to listen to if you guys are needing some help with social media. And then in this community, they do live trainings, and they did a really good end of year reflection. And they actually gave us a PDF that we can share. So I am going to share it with you guys tonight. If you are super type A and you love writing all the things down, you can print it off or, oh, that's a toy that just went off. Okay. This is going to be my office eventually. It's just kind of in progress. So we've got the toy room going on over there too. So couple announcements before we begin. If you guys didn't see, Job One is officially available for VIP access for customers and coaches. Again, make sure to watch last week's call and create your launch plan. Here's the thing, guys. Just because it launched last week, do not feel like you missed the boat. You guys are your own CEO of your business. You can launch it at any time and you can relaunch it. Personally, and I know Brooke talked about this too, since this program is only a month long, I plan to relaunch this over and over again until the next program that comes out, and maybe even after that, because it is 20 minutes a day. You can't beat that. It's 4 weeks long. So if you guys feel like, oh shoot, you missed doing a flash sale or a big post or whatever, not everyone in your world knows what's even going on. We might know it launched last week, but just watch that call, create a plan, and get behind it and get moving. New Year's, I am doing a 3-day refresh with my team, and I am opening it up to anybody because I'm going to be using the Facebook group for Team Heart and Hustle. I love doing New Year's refreshes because I know it's something I need, and I've already got tons of people hitting me up and hitting my girls up about getting a cleanse because we're about to enjoy the holiday season. So feel free to invite your girls to that. If you want to hop on, shoot me a message. I would love to do a refresh with you. And then Super Weekend, Saturday, January 8th. I'm pretty sure that's the right day. It's the 7th, 8th, and 9th. They do it the whole weekend, but make sure to pay attention to the team page, get to an event. I know I just saw a post for our Wisconsin group. They are planning something in Milwaukee. I know Brooke is doing something in Iowa. If you are in different states, you can actually just Google Beachbody FAQ Super Weekend and it'll bring you to the FAQ and you can find one near you. They are super fun to go to, super powerful, especially if you can get to an in-person one. That's literally when Brooke invited me to one, I think it was 2 years ago, and I drove down to Iowa. That is what sealed the deal for me when I talked about quitting maybe 80 times that year. Okay. So we are doing our end of year reflection, and I put this word up because my sister, Nikki, I'm pretty sure she's on. I can't see you. You can say, hey. But I put the word curious because this is a word that she has said over and over again to me. I've heard
here.
You are here. Yay. I'm totally using you because you inspire me so much. But I really want you guys to get curious and to have this word in the back of your mind as we go into this call. And really, I mean, you guys can type what that word means to you. That word to me means we're just getting curious. We're getting curious about how the year went, what our results were, why. And really, I'm going to emphasize this a lot, detaching the emotions from anything that had happened this year. So we're really going to get down and get reflective and put some numbers into things, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So with that, the end of the year doesn't mean we only reflect once a year, but it is a really good time to kind of prepare for next year. Personally, I reflect on my business weekly. That means I am looking at my business activities and how it has impacted my outcomes. So if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. And I want to tell this story again about my sister real quick. We were just talking and she had sent me a box and she said she was coaching, oh goodness, for about a year and took a little break and has jumped back on the coaching. And she told me that her husband had said he really missed the money that she was earning. And she didn't even realize what she was earning. She said, I never looked into my back office. I never saw the dollar amount. I didn't even check my bank account to know what I was doing. Yet here she was putting in all this effort, this energy, and this work, and she wasn't seeing that outcome. She was seeing some other outcomes, but she was starting to feel burnt out in her business. And that to me was a huge aha moment that personally for me as a coach, as I'm teaching others how to run their business, like I need to help people see that connection between the activities that you're doing and the outcomes that you desire. So for everyone, it's going to be a little different, but I think for a lot of us, it's going to be income because we're putting on a lot of work and we want to see the income, the rank, the retention. I think that's a really good one to mention too, because I know so often we measure by Success Club, which is great, but how many people are you retaining month after month after month? Because those are the people that you are going to want to keep around. And I know I don't have like the craziest Success Club numbers. And I know there's some coaches on the network that recruit 50, 60 people a month, which is amazing. Of course, like you're going to get some good commission from that. But retention is huge for your business. And also as you start to build your rank and you're getting those team cycle bonuses, like that's really where it's at. Your engagement in your groups. I hear this a lot. Groups ebb and flow. So are you measuring the engagement of your groups and what is happening during different seasons and seeing what's working and what's not versus, oh, my engagement in my group sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good at this. Like, okay, like let's take some data and let's start like thinking about like, what are you doing in your challenge groups? How are you running them? What excites your girls? So these are some things that I want you guys to start connecting. So your business activities to the outcomes. And again, we have to eliminate those emotional ties because it is so easy to look at our income, our rank, and maybe you're ending the year and you had goals at the beginning of the year to be a diamond or 1-star diamond or 5-star diamond. I know that was my goal, 5-star diamond, and I didn't hit it. So just so you guys know, I'm in the same boat as you. And yeah, at first it can kind of sting. It's hard to look at this and be like, okay, what happened? But we need to sit down. We need to look at our year and reflect and really just kind of pinpoint so that we can better plan for next year. Same thing if you're sitting at Emerald and maybe you've been sitting at Emerald for the year or 2 years or 3 years. That doesn't mean that you can't change the course that you're going currently for next year. It might even be just a couple tweaks, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. Okay. So these are the couple resources that I was going to go over with you. And I want you guys to remember too, as you are doing your end of the year reflection, is that the compound effect is always working for or against us. So especially in our business that we are doing, when we are jumping in and we're connecting and we're inviting, we're expanding our network, you might not see those results for 60 to 90 days out, might even be 3 to 6 months out. When I told you guys at the very beginning of this call that I made a post 3 years ago and 16 people have joined me over the course of 3 years, they didn't all sign up at the same time. It took 3 years for some people to sign up. For some, it took a month. But when you are showing up on your social media over and over again, and as you are doing that work and you're having those conversations and you're showing people that you're not leaving, you're going to get those results. It's a matter of time and your effort. So I'm going to open up this document first for you guys and we'll kind of go over it real quick. And again, I have it in the slideshow and I can even post it to, I already posted it to the team page. Okay. But they just have some really, really good questions to kind of get you going and thinking about what happened this year and why and where you're going to go next year. So when you reflect at the end of the year, how does it make you feel? What word comes to your mind? Do you feel joyful and empowered? Do you feel frustrated and overwhelmed? Do you feel like you were working within your strengths, or do you feel like you were not focusing on things that brought you joy? So these are some really good questions that you guys can kind of go through. What projects this year caused you stress? And what have you been working on that did not impact your bottom line? And when they say bottom line, they're really just meaning your goal. So why did you not hit your rank? Why did you not get to the income goal that you had maybe set the year before? And what do you think impacted that? Were you doing the work? Were you scrolling social media? I mean, if you raise your hand, I will tell you, I've been guilty before. It is really, really easy to go on social and be like, I'm going to make a reel today. And then 30 minutes go by and you're still searching for a sound. And it's like, oh, shoot, I could have used that 30 minutes to do something else. What do you want to start working on in 2022? What areas did you see growth? So looking at areas that you have seen growth too. I've seen this so much with coaches and also my challengers, for example, where maybe you have a certain weight loss goal. You want to lose 20 pounds and people are like, oh, I am not seeing anything. I've been doing the nutrition plan. I've been working out. I don't see any results. And I'll say, send me your pictures. Like, show me your progress pictures. Okay. Then they send them to me and I put them side by side and they're like, oh yeah. Oh, I do see changes. Okay. We also, while we're measuring things that maybe didn't work out in our favor, we also need to be looking and searching for the growth. Did you have people that stuck around? Did you have anyone that switched from customer to coach? Like, what challenge groups did work where you had a lot of engagement? Take notes from those and look back so that you can implement that into next year. What are some factors do you need to note that impacted, stagnation or decline? We can just keep on going. What months did you see your highest or lowest sales? And I'm going to show you guys a little document that I put together just like for myself personally. And again, you guys can kind of copy it if you want. I do nothing fancy, but just a little personal tip being in this for 3 years now. I have been tracking my income for a while. I don't think I really tracked it much the first year. It was pretty fun. But once I made the decision to stay home, I really started tracking my income. And even that first year of me being home, when I felt things like were going so slow, I was like, why am I not making X amount of dollars? Like, I hit diamond, I should be raking in the money. It's like, okay, first off, that's not how it works. You don't hit diamond and start making 6 figures like that. That's just Brooke knows. Dana knows, we all know. But it can happen, but you need to track that growth. And that is what I have been doing, honestly, for the past 2 years now, so that when I get a paycheck that maybe I'm like, oh my gosh, like that was pretty small, I can see my overall trends from month to month to month. I can even compare last year's to this year's to see, okay, where was I last July? Where was I this July? And what was the increase there? I feel like this isn't like the fun, like exciting stuff, but it is so crucial so that you are not feeling like you are in this rat race, just going through this wheel of doing the business and not seeing the benefit. Because the sooner that you can make tweaks, and again, it might just be a little tweak. It might be scrolling 30 minutes less on social media and sending out 10 more connections or 10 more invites a day. And that can totally there can be a huge difference in your business because you're talking to so many more people. It is crucial to continuously being in this mindset of, okay, where was I? Where do I want to go? Am I heading in the direction I want to go into or not? Otherwise, it is so easy to get burnt out and get stuck. Okay, so this document is pretty long. I can, again, let you guys go through this and you can take time and write everything out. I thought it was very helpful and has really had me thinking a lot about just kind of what happened this year and where to start putting my time and attention to next year. Because again, I'm in the same boat as you. And I think everyone in here is. We had things that probably went really well. And we probably had things where we missed the mark. And it just needs a little bit of tweaking. So I can't seem to close this out. There we go. We'll go back to the slides. All right. Oh my gosh. Vision board. Okay. I also have this income document. I know this is like putting all my numbers out there, but whatever. It doesn't really mean much. But I have all of my business centers. And again, I've been doing this since like 2020. But this is a good resource for you guys. If you want it, I can share it with you. It's great to share with your significant others so they feel like they're a part of it. I'll tell you, I communicate my income to my husband weekly because sometimes, I think especially in the beginning, he's kind of like, what are you actually doing? And is this actually working? So I literally like send a screenshot and I will send it his way so he can kind of see where things are at. Another thing, when I did my reflection this year is I totaled up my monthly income for every single month in all my business centers. And I put together my highest months and my lowest months. And then I like sorted them in Excel. Thank you, stats class, for teaching me this. Otherwise, I would have no freaking clue. And just so you guys know, I failed stats twice. So I had to take it 3 times before I learned this. But nevertheless, I was able to, for my husband, put together all my numbers so I could show him like when were my good months and when were my low months. And I was really able to reflect on what was kind of happening in those months, like challenge group wise, personal, like life, like my own mental health, like family, like was I homeschooling my kids? Like I felt like my summer really tanked. And honestly, when all my kids are home, it is like a freaking deacon circus. So that like played a role into it too. I also did a mentorship for myself personally last year. And this isn't a plug for you guys to do a mentorship, but that was a personal decision that I had made. And I did pretty well those months. So that really helped me kind of build a case for doing it again with my husband. So it's a really good idea if you guys are new to start tracking, or if you haven't yet, go back this year and just put it all on a document. And I swear it is a really great way to bring your spouse or significant other or whoever is supporting you in your business into this so they can kind of see what you're working towards and how much growth you've had. And if you haven't had any growth, it brings up some really good questions on how are you spending your time? What are you really working on in this business? And helps you, again, kind of tweak where you need to go. Hope you guys are following me. I feel like I am all over the place. Okay, vision board. So we're going to do a workshop soon. I am not going to go all the way into vision boards, but if you guys were a part of our team last year and you made a vision board, I want you to bring that back out. I want you to look at that document. I want you to bring your vision board back out. And I really want you to take a look at it. I want to see what you did or did not accomplish and why. I also want you to look at what is still relevant. Maybe at the time you were a brand new coach and you're like, I want to be this or whatever, because you saw everybody else putting it on their vision board. And now you've had a year to kind of learn, like, what kind of business do you want to run? What does that rank even mean? And what does it mean to you? So is that goal still relevant for you going into 2022? What changes can you make? And again, how can you better prioritize your time? And I just put this in like as a little plug because I'm like a PD junkie, and I've been hearing a lot about the word sacrifice. And I will personally apologize to my team and girls because I feel like in the beginning of my business, I really had this mindset of like, well, if you want this to work, you got to sacrifice something. Like you gotta, like, whether it's sleep, whether it's, wake up at 4:30 versus 5. So you're sacrificing sleep so you can work out and run your business. Maybe like one night a week, like husband has to put the kids to bed. I don't know. But this is what I've learned. This is what I have learned in 2021 and something I'm going to take with me into 2022 is that you can run a successful business without feeling like you have to sacrifice, because sacrifice has such a negative connotation. And if you are sacrificing something that means something to you, you will not do this business. If it is something that is important to you, and if it's something that is of core value to you, and you feel like you have to sacrifice it to be successful, I can guarantee you with that mindset, you are eventually going to burn out and you're going to stop. There are going to be times, there are going to be shifts, and I can dig into that a little bit on how to move forward and to take freaking action without feeling like you have to sacrifice. And it's called deleting and delegating. There are other things that you guys can look at, and there are other pockets of time where you can be strategic and ask for more help without sacrificing the things that you love that mean the most to you. If you guys are following me, like shout out something in the chat and I'll go back and read it. But I want you guys to walk away with a couple action items on how to make 2022 your freaking year and how to use this information that I'm giving you in these resources to take what happened this year or the past 6 months or whatever and to move forward. So what daily activities do you need to get to your goal? Now that you've kind of went back and you've looked at maybe the little pockets that you were missing, or you're looking at back at the months where you're like, damn, I freaking rocked it. I hit SC 10 that month and I haven't hit it since. Like, what were you doing that month? You hit SC 10 that you can duplicate into January, February next year. Honestly, sometimes it's the program and your energy. What was your energy that month? Were you super excited? Because when you're excited, people feel that. And then maybe there are other months where you weren't. Maybe you were really struggling. And I can tell you, those months where you're struggling, you might show up on social media and think you're faking it. People see through that shit. I'm just going to be real right now. I love you all, but people see through it because it's happened to me. It's happened to me. Like most of the things that I'm sharing, like I have gone through too. And I know other coaches have gone through. You can fake it till you make it, but our job is to take care of ourselves. And you really need to take care of yourself. When you start sacrificing things you love and you start putting off your workouts and you're eating healthy to do your business and hustle, we're here to take care of ourselves first. That doesn't change. You need to take care of yourself. You need to make sure you are doing the things that bring you energy so you can show up like a fucking badass and mean it. Okay, I'm like getting all into this. Okay, so how are you currently tracking your daily activities? Is there another way to better track? I know for me, my tracking's been shitty, so I'm looking for a way to better track I do pen and paper, it works, but I've made it a goal this year to find more systems for myself so that I can better keep track of conversations. Also, hint, hint, plug for the business activity tracker. If you guys are new, we have it in our back office. There's a really great activity tracker that you guys can use to start tracking your conversations and your work that you are putting in. How are you managing your time? Are you working? Or are you saying you're working and you're scrolling? I don't know. And then number 4, kind of like I mentioned before, can you delete it or delegate it? So yes, you're going to have to shift your time around a little bit, probably, but sometimes you guys, it is like the teeniest, tiniest shift that you need to make. You don't need hours in a day to do this business. You need to be intentional, very intentional. Where do you need to invest in your business? Hi, are you coming down here? You need something? Oh, sorry. He's got to go to work. You come up, bye. Because all my laundry is down here. That is definitely something I've kind of deleted and delegated. So where do you need to invest? Are you guys doing flash sales? Like when we host a flash sale, are you putting back into your business? Are you doing prizes for your girls? I remember very early on, the first flash sale ever that Brooke posted about, I was terrified because honestly, I didn't have freaking money. Like I was working full time, but we had no money. And I was like, I cannot give a $20 gift card. Like it just, I was scared. I wasn't going to do it. I was worried of what I was going to get in return, to be honest, because I was doing this business so I could make money. I'll just be straight. And I saw her talking about it and I saw how successful she was. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. My husband's here and he knows, but I put the gift cards on a credit card or whatever that month. And I'm not saying like whip out your credit cards, but I found a way to make it happen. And I had the highest paycheck that I had had to that point that week. And I was like, oh, this does kind of work. And I've had people from that very first flash sale stay with me over the course of 3 years. So for me and my business, like I actually run them pretty frequently because I see that, you know, the $20 gift card, what that can turn into. That can turn into, you know, $15 commission maybe at the time or 20, but it can turn into a lifer and someone that buys Shakeology every single month, or a coach that ends up signing a bunch of people and ends up being one of my new emeralds and helps me go diamond and 1-star and 2-star. So how are you investing in your business? I can't see my screen right there. What kind of business do I want to have? Maybe start thinking about, what do you want to bring to the table? Who do you want to serve? Why do you want to serve them? And how will you serve them? What are things that bring you joy in this business? And how can you focus on that? Who can I partner up with to help me get to my goals? I will tell you that making connections in this team is the best decision I've ever made. And I know Brooke did a really good job when a bunch of us first started, kind of connecting us because we were in the same spot. So if you're brand new, reach out to other brand new coaches in this team. Feel free to use our team page and to say, hey, I want to, you know, I have this goal and I want to partner up with somebody. Put yourself out there and be vulnerable and make those relationships and have people hold you accountable. I promise it is the best decision that you can make. I've heard of other girls too that have run groups together and done other things, because I know not everybody is home or not everyone's doing this as a full-time thing. They just want to do it as a hobby. So partner up with other people and push each other to get to your goals. And then also think about, what are your business goals for next year as far as income, rank, trips you want to earn? I mean, who wants to go to Florida next year? Right? Like, figure out like what you need to do to get to Florida, to get to the all-inclusive trip, like whatever it is that's going to be, whatever it is that is going to motivate you, figure out what you need to do to get there, because it's a little different for everything. If you're gunning for the Success Club trip, your focus next year is going to be SC every single month. So you can get that trip for you and your +1 and say, I earned this freaking trip. If your income is if your goal is a certain income, start crunching some numbers, figure out what you need to do. Okay, I want to make X amount each month. Okay, how many challenge packs is that? Like, what do I need to do? And how do I need to serve these people to get to that income? Or what rank do I need to be? Will Diamond help me to make that income more frequently and get that residual income? If you want to tap into any of the bonuses that our company has, or go to any of like the leadership trips, okay, what do you need to do to get there? And figure out what action you're going to need to take to get to that goal. Sound good? Okay, so next steps. I put pick a PD book to read. Like, this is something that I've been kind of bouncing around with books, but I think it's a really good idea to start off the year strong, to pick a personal development book to read and really dig into, find out what you're needing. If it's mindset, if it's, you know, little tactical things like the 12-week year, look at those pitfalls that you have in areas, not even pitfalls, areas that you need to grow, and pick a PD book related to that. And again, shout it out on the team page and be like, I want to read this book. Does anyone want to read it with me? I know we're talking about doing a book club, but you also can find a book that fits what you need for your business, because we're all unique and we all need different things. Complete the end of the year reflection. You can go back and you can do that, and you don't need anything fancy. Just start writing it down in a little journal or Excel sheet. Take this time to reflect on your income. I highly, highly, highly recommend doing that. No matter how long you have been coaching, get into the habit of taking a peek at your income. I have the Make She Cabin Planner, which I know a lot of people have asked about, and gotten to the routine of checking my income too, because they actually have it in here. Every single Sunday, I am reflecting on my business, good or bad, emotions gone. What were your recruits like? Did you sign anyone up? What was your income? How do you feel? Oh my gosh, there's hope. We love you. Oh, I'm gonna squeeze you. Okay. And then what are we at? The 20th this month? Oh my gosh, we have so much time left. Hit Success Club. We're at the end of the year. There's so much time left. You guys, people, I know everyone's getting ready for Christmas, but when I used to work in retail at Bath and Body Works, the day after Christmas, everybody had monies from their grandmas and their mom and whoever in their pocket. Their great uncle gave them $100 at Christmas and they're going out shopping. You're going to hit Success Club. You can hit Success Club. Don't be afraid to reach out to people just because it's the holidays. This is what people are looking for. This is the time of year when people are reflecting on how their year went and how they want to start 2022. This is literally the hottest time for our business right now and for health and wellness. People are looking. Be visible. Share on social. Make sure people see you and they know what you're doing. Don't just post pictures of your dogs and your kids. They're freaking cute, but let them know I'm a health and wellness coach. This is what I'm doing. You want to come with me? Starting January 3rd or whatever you end up choosing, because we need to create the momentum now. And I can promise you, after the holidays, it is game on, and you guys have so much time left in this month. So if you're not in Success Club yet, go for it. All right. Any dying questions? I feel like I am all over the place. I feel seen. Oh. Actually, yes, you joined with Beachbody the very first time with Brooke on Christmas Eve. Oh, I signed up after watching Brooke and Dana on a sneak peek. 12/15/18. This is the time I love this time of year. Oh my God. Ooh, I love that. I always like to ask myself with social media, am I creating more than I am consuming? That helps keep me in check. If I'm consuming more, then I know I have to make a tweak. I aim for 80% create, 20% consume. That is amazing. That is really, really good.
I'll touch on that for a second if you want me to.
Yes.
Brooke.
Oh, go for it. Please do.
Yeah, I think I heard it from another coach, but like, I think this year in particular, with reels too, like, Instagram has it figured out. Like, and like I think Brooke or Dana said it, like, it is literally crack for our brain. Like, we just we get on to do something and it's like, suck this, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this reel. And then you just start scrolling and like, it's crack for your brain. So you have to be, or at least I found like, and I'm guilty of it too, for sure. But I've heard a coach say that and I was like, whoa, that's really, really powerful. So like, look at the time you're spending on social media. Like, are you consuming more? Are you just like sitting there looking at reels and looking for an audio, or are you actually creating a reel? Like, are you like, so that has just been a really good, something that I keep trying to say to myself. I'm like, consume more or create more than I consume. If I'm consuming more, I feel it. I feel like my soul sucked dry at the end of the day or the week, because like, it's just, I've done nothing and it doesn't feel good. It feels yucky. And it's like, but when you can create more and are just focused on the people that you are serving or are one day going to serve, like, and we know that, but I truly feel like this year with reels and just the switches that some Instagram and Facebook have made, like, they're smart. And like, it sucks even us as coaches, as social media influencers. And I think it's just something we have to always be aware of all the time, more than ever. So that's all I wanted to say.
I'm glad you said that, because it's so true. And it's not to make anybody feel bad. Like, that's taking the emotion out of all of it, like wherever you're at. And even that, like, if you're like, crap, I consume too much and I'm scrolling and that's why I'm here. Like, okay, like we need to get into that. All right, this is what happened. we're going to reflect and keep going. And what can you do to tweak that? And maybe it's setting timers. Like that is a big thing for me because I get into, oh my gosh, I get into that so bad where, especially with reels, I don't know what it is. It's like addicting to keep watching them. And then my kids join me and I'm like, ah, crap, I was doing something. Set a timer or get a notebook out and write down like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Melanie and Katie in their little end of year, whatever video that I half listened to, said like, when you open your app, ask yourself like, why, what am I doing right now? And do like, focus on that. Like maybe even say it out loud. It sounds kind of silly, but like, why am I going onto Instagram to post on my stories? Okay. Set a timer for 10 minutes, post on your stories, close it out, done. Because sometimes a lot of people think that this business takes so much time, and it probably feels that way because it's so easy to get distracted. Or if you have your notifications on, Dana told me this, I think she mentioned on a couple calls really early on, turn your notifications off. Like that's why I don't reply to people right away, because when I am on and I am working, I am doing my shit. Not always. I get distracted. Sometimes I get a message and I'm like, and then I go over there and have a little conversation, or maybe you're in a groove sending out invites and someone says they're interested and you're like, oh, this person's interested. Oh my God, I gotta, blah, blah, blah. And then you do nothing else for the day. It's like, try to be intentional. That person will be there. They can learn to respect your time. Like use timers, use something to keep yourself on track, because when you do, and the days that you find out like where you are on track, you're like, wow, that really didn't take me too long. Like, I know sometimes it can be like, oh, I got to send 5 invites. You set a timer and you can get a lot done in 10 minutes when you're intentional. Like so much done. All right. I love that, Dana, too. I was reading, you talked about consistency. Like you've noticed your best months were when you were consistent. Same. Oh my gosh. I can tell you for sure the months where I was doing what I was supposed to be every day, and the days I was scrolling a little bit more. There is one. I'm so bad with technology. Can definitely tell you I am not an IT person either. There's still, who's a Kelly? Kelly's our IT person. She's the one to go to. Some of it is like time. If you do have any like technology questions, like when you say you're bad with technology, I'd love to know like specifically like what does that mean? What are you hoping to learn? The dang reels. Yes, I go off my friends list and interact. That's a good idea. Always have YouTube and Google forever. All right. No one else has any questions. I think we're good to wrap it up for the night. I know it is late and a lot of us get up early. And if you guys have any more like specific questions, feel free to reach out to your coach. I say post it on the team page, because if you have a question, there's a really good chance someone else has the same question. And that's a nice way for all of us to see so we can answer. So yeah, of course, you're welcome. All right, ladies, I will post this recording once I figure out how to stop it. And oh, I'm about to end the meeting for everyone. All right, I guess we're out. Have a good night, everyone. See some of you in the virtual gym tomorrow morning. Bye.